Hello and welcome. This is Stuart Zadel and I want to welcome you to your monthly educational video tip. This tip's going to be short, sharp and to the point. So stay tuned. I think you're going to enjoy it. Now it's come about this month's tip, because of a couple of events in my life I've spent in just the last few days and over the weekend. I had a gentleman come up and ask me about how he makes a certain amount of money passively. I had another gentleman talk to me about his health and how he can be disease-free, and I had another friend I had a conversation with who's a middle-aged woman who's single and doesn't want to be. This tip is in light of all of them, because you know what, sometimes the basics are the best bit, and I want to talk to you about that now. Now I'm going to talk about financial and wealth in this, but I want you to understand it applies to your relationships, to your happiness, to your health and to every area of life. It's quite simple. So when it comes to money in my events, I often ask people, how many of you would like to be more financially prosperous or financially abundant? Of course, most people put their hands up to that question. And then I go further and say, well, listen, if you're going to go down that path, you need to understand a few things. We need to understand the way we've been conditioned to believe in things may not be accurate. So I tell people often, everything you've been taught to believe about money is actually false. It does not take money to make money. That's one of the big ones out there. It does not take a university degree to make money. In fact, most of the world's wealthy didn't have them. Super wealthy I'm talking about. It does not take good grades to make money. It does not take good looks, good ideas, or good anything you could imagine. It doesn't take a good job. In fact, you don't even need a job at all, and in some cases could even be a hindrance to you. It does not take the right religion. You do not need to live in the right area, city or suburb or country for that matter. You do not need to drive the right car. You do not need to come from the right family. And you do not need to have the right contacts in the beginning. Absolutely none of these things matter. There's only one thing you need and one thing only. I'm going to put it up on the board right now. And that is this. You need to make a decision. That's it. Now, it's a special sort of decision called an irrevocable decision, which we'll get to in a moment. But you need to make a decision. Now, let's look at the word decision. Decision actually comes from the word incision, which is a medical term which means to cut away from. You cut away from all other options available to you. You cut away from poverty. You might choose to cut away from middle class. You cut away from all sorts of support or grants or gifts from mummy or daddy or whoever or whatever it is. And you decide, my friend. But as I said, it's a special sort of decision. So let me pop this up here for you as well. It is irrevocable, which means what? It means you cannot take it back. Now, it often behooves me at the great information available to people that they don't act on. Many people at my events come and get a free copy of our great book, The New Way to Make Money in Property Fast. If you haven't read the first chapter of this book, I highly recommend you do. There's a number of great hints and tips in there that, believe it or not, actually work. And one of them in particular is called the goal card exercise. You'll find it there in the first chapter itself. And so if you want to action this principle today, I'm going to suggest you go out and get yourself a piece of card. You can chop up a bit of paper for all I care, but a 3" by 5" lined or unlined piece of card. And I want you to write on it your decision. We often suggest it starts with, I am so happy and grateful now that, and then you fill in the blank. I might suggest at this stage that you say, I am so happy and grateful now that I'm on schedule to become financially abundant, and sign that card. You might want to carry it, read it a few times a day, and I'm going to tell you it's going to start to change the way you think. It's going to start to change what you see out there in society, and you're going to start to see opportunities and inquire and think about things and how people have done them. And sooner or later people go, well, how are you going to do it? How are you going to achieve your financial? Look, I got some ideas, some systems and stuff on that. However, the truth is, I don't know. You never know. What I do know is if you make the decision, you can get there. There might be a few more things to learn, but in truth, it all starts with that. It's a decision, and what sort of decision? You guessed it, a special sort. It's called irrevocable. Recommend you look at this and carry this out, and I look forward to when we next speak. For now, this is Stuart.